So guys, report says the United States airstrikes actually killed more than 100 terrorists in Nigeria. See how this headline captured it. It says US strikes in Nigeria killed 155 Lukarawa terrorists. Now, Iswap is challenging Donald Trump. Iswap has moved to acquire sophisticated drones because they know that Trump has promised fresh airstrikes. So Iswap is already getting ready for counter airstrikes. So see how this headline captured it. It says, Iswap terrorists acquire more drones, plan coordinated attacks on Nigerian troops. Can you imagine? Now, this other headline also said, just in, Iswap terrorists recently acquired new high-tech military drones to launch a coordinated area attacks on Nigerian military positions in Yobe and Borno State. Premium Times confirmed. So guys, recently we're told that America drones, military drones were sent to Nigeria to get some intelligence. And you can see in the same area, Iswap Group, they've gone to acquire sophisticated, high-tech military drones for themselves. So guys, who is funding these guys? Who is funding these terrorists in Nigeria? And why are we not winning the war against these people? Now, recently, the Nigerian military raised alarm over the integration of repentant Boko Haram members into the Nigerian military. They said they are leaking their information. They are exposing their information. And now you can see Iswap has gone to acquire sophisticated, high-tech military drones to be launching area attacks. So they will no longer be fighting from the ground. They will be wherever they are and send out their drones to get the locations of the Nigerian military men, because they have people giving them intelligence, and they will use that intelligence to send out their drones, and they are going to be buying more soldiers. So guys, why are we playing with the lives of our military men? Why? Now, this headline here says, U.S. forces deliver critical military supplies to our Nigerian partners in Abuja. This delivery supports Nigerian ongoing operation and emphasizes our shared security partnership. This is coming from the United States. This is like a department of the United States military that operates in Africa. It is called AFRICOM. So they've supplied Nigerians with some weapons. The question we are still asking is, how effective is this going to be if we have people leaking intelligence to the terrorist groups that are operating on the Nigerian soil? If you can remember, just yesterday I made a video showing you that the Nigerian military soldiers were really raising alarm over the integration of Boko Haram members into the military, that they are leaking their information. And now Iswap has acquired a high-tech military drones with drones, not one. They've acquired military drones to launch a coordinated area attack on Nigerian military positions. So guys, this is a worrying situation for the Nigerian military. And I don't know what the Tinubu's government is doing. You must have heard that Tinubu's government has spent $9 million to hire a lobbying firm to go and tell Trump that there is no Christian genocide, that they are protecting, that the Nigerian government is actually protecting Christians. Like you can see it here, captured by the cables, and it reads, federal government hires lobbying firm for $9 million to communicate Christian protection efforts to the US. So the Tinubu's government has gone ahead to hire a lobbying firm to tell the US that, we are trying our best to protect Christians despite all the killings that have happened this new year. We had Iswap issuing order to the people of Adamawa, convert or you die. If you don't convert to Islam, we are going to kill all of you. And they've been buying so many people. Now, Tinubu is hiring a lobbying firm to go and tell the US that there is no Christian genocide anymore in Nigeria, that we are protecting Christians. You can imagine, why not use this $9 million and invest it on our military men and pay them better and equip them the more? This is more than 14 billion naira. Why not increase their salary and make their welfare better? Tinubu is spending this on lobbying people. So guys, this is how they are going to be spending taxpayers' money. Anyway guys, let me know what you think about all these headlines. What are your thoughts? What is going on in Nigeria? Do you think Nigeria is ready to win the war against, insecurity in Nigeria, seeing the fact that Ribadu is the one that actually went ahead to hire this law firm to tell them that we are protecting Christians? Ribadu is the one. The same Ribadu that hired Fulani vigilantes to be the one protecting Nigerians is now the one going to tell the US that we are now protecting Nigerians because he hired Mieti Allah linked vigilantes and he said he's going to spread them across Nigeria. So guys, we don't know the mission of the APC in Nigeria, but I just hope that God will help us remove them in power come 2027 election. But let me know what you think about all this in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell notification. Now take a look at this video.
It made me feel some type of way, but this is what is happening in the country and we just have to talk about it. Now, Iswap has more or less dared US President Donald Trump, who has been saying we will stop the Christian genocide in Nigeria, the alleged Christian genocide, because the Nigerian government has not agreed that there is a Christian genocide in the country. They are reportedly planning drone attacks on military formations in Borno and Yobe State. That is to weaken the Nigerian military. Now that this has come out, it's supposed to be a secret, right? But it's come out, Nigerians know about it. Would you expect that the Nigerian military will rise up to the occasion and foil this attack before it happens? At least to give them a better name amongst Nigerians and the international community who believe that the Nigerian government is not doing enough to curb insecurity.
Yeah, that's what is expected, Choma, on a normal situation. Like you rightly said, when we listen to Nigeria news these days, all we hear is all about insurgency, killing and maiming of Nigeria. That's to Nigerians, that's to tell you that that is the reality on ground. There is no shying away from it. There's no way you have to paint it. There's nothing like painting it, just to sugarcoat it to make it look as if all is well. All is not well at the moment. That's why we are calling on international communities, and like Donald Trump has actually intervened to do more. Now you just said, to redeem their name, that's how it's supposed to be. Because when if Nigeria Armed Forces is actually on top of their game, there has to be proactiveness in handling most of this matter. Now that at least this information is leaked now, we are aware of it. Then they are supposed to, double up their operation to make sure that they nip it in the bud before it become an issue. They are talking of military formations. If these military formations are hacked, that means the civilians are not safe at all. So I will expect that now that this one is at the domain of the Nigerians now, front domain, they will expect that they will be able to, nip this one. Let this one not be what will become another discussion, maybe in another 1 week or 2 weeks from now, that, we said it last time, but unfortunately they were not proactive enough to curtail it.
As we go into the political season, we do know that politics will dominate the discussion online, offline, on the media, outside the media, within our families, friends, and indeed on the streets of Nigeria. But we cannot even practice politics or the political process without security. When there is insecurity, every other thing will have to be on hold.
Suspended.
Just like education has been on hold in certain parts of the country, they've had to rely on radio education. But then, before you can even listen to the radio, you have to ensure that you're safe and secure, because the sound of the radio can drop these bandits to you. If you are in an area that is infested. Now we're talking about peace deals, and the Katsina state government's plan to release 70 bandits back into the environment, into the villages, into the societies that they have been terrorizing. And they are defending this plan, saying, we've looked at it, this is the best thing we can do at the moment. And they say it is also part of the peace pact that they signed. And one would wonder, the victims sometimes talk about coming in contact with the people who puts them in dangerous situations. And then it makes you wonder, how exactly are we posturing? Do you think the government is even concerned about looking to Nigerians like they are trying to solve this insecurity problem, when with this kind of situation, it would seem that they are liaising with the people that are terrorizing the citizens?
You see, it is so shameful that we are hearing something like a state, one of the states in Nigeria out of the 36 states, talking about that is their arrangement and agreement with insurgents to release them, so that they can now have peace. What do they mean by that? Nigeria is still a functional country, if not that we have sold out our rights. For a governor to be going into such agreement and arrangement, or even local government, it shows that that state is no longer functioning. There is no governance in that state, because it is not even when they are confronted, this state governor, they tell you, oh, they are always chief security officer, that they don't take the security apparatus take directly from the federal government. Why don't you allow the federal government to handle this insecurity instead of you now going into unholy alliance with the insurgents? I think that arrangement must be stopped. That arrangement is just a postulation coming from Gumi that, oh, these are our people, Sheikh Gumi, these are our people, and they should be rehabilitated and integrated into the society instead of killing them. Has it worked? You are talking of people who have killed, who do the only business they know is how to kill, maim, and destroy. Can they change? The people that they killed, the people that they are destroying their means of livelihood and thrown into IDP camp, how are you taking care of them? You now rehabilitate them, give them a different toga and bring them into the society. Tomorrow, the business they know is all about killing and maiming people. They go back to their brothers who are still in the forest, and begin to leak information to them and begin to direct them on how they are to come into the communities and destroy and kill and maim. Have you achieved anything? Do you dialogue with the enemy? Is Nigeria not seeing what Israeli armed forces did to Gaza, Hamas in Gaza today? Why can't you also think of how to be on top of this situation that we find ourselves for the past 16 years? These are not what we should be celebrating. You are bringing out men from whom the business they know is only killing. They say, oh, they have turned a new leaf. Can they ever change? Do leopards change their skin? Have we not been saying that some of these things that we have done in the past, how is hunting the Nigerian armed forces today? Some of them have infiltrated Nigerian armed forces. Now, whatever operation they plan, these operations are hijacked and lead to ambush. And Nigerians are losing soldiers on daily basis through some of these unholy alliances we are having with the insurgents. I think the governor of Katsina State and whoever is planning that should quickly put an end to it, because this is not going to help the people. These people, whatever carrot you dangle at them today, tomorrow they are going to jettison it and go back to the business they ever know best, and that will become a detrimental to the people. I don't think this one should be encouraged, Choma. It's
unfortunate because now we're actually hearing reports of attacks occurring on Sunday. It's almost as if those people are jubilating, understanding that, oh, very soon the government will release their people and they can continue going on rampage against Nigerians. But let us look at this conversation about the Iswap planning drone attacks on military positions in Yobe and Borno State. Now, these attacks are expected to involve multiple drones operating at the same time against select military targets. These drones, they reportedly recently received a consignment of about 35 drones allegedly transported through the Lake Chad corridor, which is a known logistic route used by insurgents in the northeast. Why have our military, in conjunction with our other West African neighbors, because we're all suffering this insurgency, it may not be as high as it is in Nigeria, in other countries, Niger and all of that, but we know that these Sahelian countries are facing these issues of insecurity, at least in the border communities. What is stopping Nigeria from liaising with our other West African neighbors, their military, to ensure that these corridors, Lake Chad, other border communities, at least, that we push these people to a point where they know their limits, they know where they cannot pass? And also, where did they receive this consignment from? Who are the people that are sponsoring it? What is stopping the federal government from releasing the names that they told us they will release last year?
These are the big questions, Choma. You will agree with me that during the late President Buhari's time, there was a joint there was a joint operation between Nigeria, Niger, and even Republic of Benin and some other West Africa countries then, But unfortunately, since that coup happened in Niger Republic, that arrangement has, watered down. It has never been business as usual. But the big question here is, even if we are not even coming into alliance with some of these West Africa, Sahelian countries in West Africa, why don't we want to think of how to secure our own side of it? Now, when General Musa, Christopher Musa was chief of defense staff, he kept talking about, fencing of borders. He made mention of, the fencing of Pakistan border between Pakistan and Afghanistan. Even as sophisticated as US border with Mexico is fenced. Why, now that he has become minister now, at least he's one of the policies maker now, we want to see that same arrangement he has been telling that, it's a necessity. He now, think of how to, bring us such discussion between the federal government and the National Assembly to release funds. He has a budget now. He has a budget that at least his ministry is entitled to. That kind of development should start. Let's start from somewhere. Because if you look at it, our borders, the custom are looking the other way. The custom cannot man our borders to check all this infiltration into Nigeria. That is a big, humongous project. You are talking of drones. Do you know how much it costs? People sponsor that drones. Then it's being brought into this country, and these drones are not brought in as if you are bringing on a needle, a pin and needle. They are brought in containers. Well, how did they get into this country? Where is the custom and where is the immigration services? We still have controller generals in all these paramilitary. But what is their duties? Now that they fail in their responsibilities, then we should look at the other way. Why don't we now begin to think of financing this fencing of Nigeria border? Let's start it from, at least let's begin it and begin to push it gradually. It may not be a one-day thing, but let's start it, because this, if we want to rely on Nigeria custom and Nigeria immigration, this insurgency and this infiltration of arms and ammunition into this nation will never stop. We used to talk of light weapons into this country. It's no longer light weapons now, Choma. These are armaments now coming into Nigeria now, and as a result of the failure of those people whose responsibility are supposed to man these borders, then the financiers, we have been talking about these financiers over the years. Unfortunately, the Nigeria government have not had the political willpower to bring out the names of the financier and charge them as expected. That is why it is festering. If those boys in the bush, in the forest, as they tell us, don't have all this consignment coming to them as expected, or whatever they are doing in the forest, they will be tired of it. But now they seated there now. These drones are coming in. Then they now get more armament to confront Nigeria armed forces. That's where the problem lies. Drone is a very sophisticated and modern equipment in warfare. Have you thought of how these people are we call ragtag in the bush are being trained on how to use it? You don't just bring a drone and begin to calculate the mileage it's going to go before it releases its missiles in it with ordinary hands. People train them. Where are these people coming from? Who are the people paying all these people that are training these boys in the bush? This is where the government of this nation failed, because the government of this nation have not done its job to actually look at where these financiers are coming from. Who are those behind it? Unfortunately, we have been shouting in this nation that these financiers are part of government. They are part of the leadership of this nation. They are even part of those that call themselves the sultans of the emirs of the so-called northern part of Nigeria. They are in politics. They are in government. They are in everywhere. They are businessmen that are part of them that are getting contracts from Nigeria government and using it again to finance the terrorism to attack Nigeria as well. That is the problem. But Buhari failed in it. Tinubu came and said he was going to continue from where his predecessor stopped, and again it's already failing. But the only area the only circle we are looking at now is that if only the Western America and the other Western allied forces that said, they are going to help us, assist us in fighting this insurgent, if only they can come on ground. Otherwise, what we are talking about here today, even when this intel is everywhere, you'll see in another 1 week, we'll be talking, they actually struck. But we got the intel now for it to have been curtailed. Unfortunately, we don't have the means to actually curtail them as expected.
While we're talking about all of these issues, some Nigerians are afraid that that if care is not taken, Nigeria may become like Afghanistan.
Somalia, and others. Yes,
and this is arising from certain practices, not just the insecurity issue. Some people believe that there is a jihadi agenda and Islamization agenda against the country, and then when the government seems to look the other way while these attacks are going on, they believe that this is a way to instill fear in the people and make them feel helpless. We now go to Yobe State in an incident that may seem unrelated. The Hisba, that's the moral police in Yobe State, have banned male and females from sitting together in public transport. So they ban male and female from talking to each other outside.
Yes.
You cannot have a conversation. You can, I mean, if anyone who flouts this now will probably be flogged, will be arrested, and different sanctions will be imposed upon them. And Nigerians are saying this is how the Taliban began.
That's how it began. Yeah, the Taliban began in Afghanistan that we are today. That's to tell you that the lip service that we are playing into all these things that are happening in Nigeria. This is a country where constitutionally we said it's a secular state in the constitution, but in practice we have some part of Nigeria that are practicing 100% Sharia, and the other part is practicing the secular state that is enshrined in the constitution. Then that same Yobe state now, that is saying this, they'll tell you must not drink alcohol, but they are expecting to share VAT money from that came from alcohol as part of those want to use to develop their state. They will tell you that man and woman must not talk together, but when you get to their homes, you see their respective home, they have more than 10, 15, 20 wives in their respective home. How did they meet them? They never spoke to them. So the transport fare now is going to be segregated, that only male will enter this, only female will enter this. Are you not seeing how backward we are in this 21st century because of religion in this nation? Why are we deceiving ourselves? These are just mere deception. We are just deceiving ourselves. Choma, do you know why it's first string? At the time Nigeria look at the other side, in 2023 when APC came up with Muslim social ticket, I knew something of this nature was going to happen. It's just graduating. We are going to see more of it. Nigerians allow it. We sold our right to APC when they came up with Muslim ticket. They didn't just stop at that. They went to the street and brought hoodlums and dressed them with the regalia of a bishop and tell this were Christian bishop. Do you know what that means? They denigrated the Christian religion and they brought in Muslim ticket. That's what we are seeing. So this conquest is just starting. We are going to see it, snowballing into other part of Nigeria. Have we not started hearing of Sharia law coming up in your state some time ago, last year? So they are infiltrating Choma. So I don't know until we stand our ground and take the bull by the horn. More of this will come up. These same people who are talking about, you must not talk to somebody in the public. Go and look at the number of wives they have. Go and look at the children they marry. 12 years, 11 years, they marry them. Is that not an aberration? But when it comes to using it to spite us, they don't see it as law. But when it benefits them, that's when they entrench it. The Muslim ticket gave a lot of brazenness to what we are going through now, and it will continue in this manner if it is not checked.
Quite unfortunate. But while we're looking at all of these issues, of course, there's the Donald Trump saying, the military strikes will continue. And then Tambawal is saying that we need external intervention. We need foreign intervention for credible elections in Nigeria. If we're calling for external intervention for elections, we're calling for external intervention for security. When it comes to health as well, if not that US aid was stopped, we know what Nigeria was getting in terms of foreign aid for health care.
In billions of dollars, yes. What is Nigeria doing for Nigerians if we're always calling on absolutely nothing, Choma? That's why, because of our docility, we have allowed the government over the years to take us for a ride. Because we have never been asking questions, we've not been defending our own parts. That a government that will say that remember only themselves must do the bidding of the people. Unfortunately, we have never been asking questions. This is a very rich country, but look at what is happening. We are calling on them now to come and help us to supervise election. That's his first stage. We are calling on them to come and help us to shore up our insecurity that we find ourselves. Then we beg them cap in hand for AIDS. Then how do you reconcile that is a functioning state? That these are failures. But when it comes to lining themselves with their pocket with what is generated in this nation, you to hear them saying Nigeria is a sovereign state. What do you mean by being sovereignty when you cannot take care of all this responsibility that are supposed to be your normal constitutional responsibility to your people? You cannot take care of them. You are saying, after all, this country is a sovereignty state, is a sovereignty nation. Why will another country come and throw bomb into this nation? When you outsource your responsibility to another country, why would they not mediate in your affairs? That is what we are saying, Choma. We have not been able to defend ourselves. We've not been able to do the necessary thing to ourselves. Our president has been out of this country now for the past 2 weeks. We don't know where he is. Then the next thing we hear that whenever they have headache here, the government officials that can afford it, they fly abroad. Where is the sovereignty? Nothing is working. Hospitals are not working. Schools are not working. Insecurity is prevailing us in our day-to-day activities. Where is that one that we can say, okay, this is the reason why we must call this nation a sovereign nation? There's nothing to show for it. And as a result, nobody should be talking when the international community says they want to come and assist us. We need them, Choma, because we don't want a repetition of what happened in 2023 general election to take place again. When one man came and told Nigerians, the whole world, that there was a glitch, and it ended in that manner. Today, the government started rewarding him, gave him a national honor, and made him an ambassador now. That is to tell you that where it is coming from, they know the trajectory, they know where it is coming from. He came and did their bidding, and he need to be rewarded. So we need more. We need more of international community to come and help us sanitize our system, because since we cannot do it by ourselves, since we have failed to do it, we need now another colonialization, Choma, if I'll put it that way, so that Nigeria,
2026,
yes,
the giant of Africa
should be recolonized. That is the name. That is the name we use in deceiving ourselves. All these things we read that now, we've been discussing it since you began this news, Choma. Is there anything that spelled out being a giant here? Is there anything that spelled it out? It's not just the bogusness of this nation. It's the functionality. How many of these things that are functioning here? You just have a big house, and at the end of the day, you enter, you cannot even find food to eat, and every part of the house is leaking. Is that? We look at that a home? That's what is happening in Nigeria. Everywhere is leaking. You saw even that same Benue state that we'll be talking about. Is it not part of the news you just read down? The number of persons that were killed just yesterday here in Benue state. That's how it goes around. Part of Edo state now is not functioning any longer. The whole of Edo Central is not functioning as we speak now. Everything is shut down. School is not opening. Nobody is going out in Edo Central. And fortunately, that's where I belong. That's where I come from. It's affecting me. I have children in that school. You call that one a country? Which part of Nigeria do you now go to and sleep with your two eyes closed? Nothing is working. So we need them. Let them come and help us to supervise our election, so that we can even get credible leaders who will actually know where the problem of this country is and begin to think of how to sanitize it. Because a situation where we keep recycling the same persons, at the end of the day, we get worse than what we had before. We will not continue it. And we are going into another election year, Choma. There must be difference. That's why we call on the reformation of our electoral act, so that we can have genuine electoral act reformation to face 2027 general election. Because what we had in 2023 general election was a flaw. We got to the court, and court started interpreting those things that we're not aware of, and those things they now use it to gag themselves and get into power. We must not allow a repetition of that. I expect that this 2026 that we are into, Nigeria should be speaking more on electoral reform, so that this government will know that they have responsibility on their hand to get this thing done for us, so that we can actually prepare ourselves to get into another election and not come back to the same result we had in 2023.
While we're talking about all of these issues, of course, the 2027 elections are just around the corner. Would you expect the Nigerians to look at what is going on and vote right this time around? At least vote that candidate that has fully convinced them, because we see people voting along religious lines, ethnic lines. That is undoubted that it happens. Will we see this time people looking beyond all of this and then saying, look, I want to vote for somebody that has actually shown me by their manifesto, by their actions, by their past actions, by their deeds, that they are ready to better the lives of Nigerians?
Choma, in 2023, Nigeria voted right. Nigeria voted and damned the consequences of religion and ethnicity in 2023. Unfortunately, the dummy INEC sold to us before the election began was not what we saw. At the middle of the game, INEC started to shift the goalposts, and that was what led us to where we are. If the result of 2023 election is actually announced as expected, it is not where we find ourselves now. It's not where we would have been. Nigeria voted right in 2023. You saw the collation of the National Assembly election, the House of Rep and the House of Senate. It was seamless. We saw IREV working. When they saw that the trajectory was changing and it was going to be against them, they came up with a dummy at the middle of the game and said, oh, there was a glitch. That was where the voting rights Nigeria got truncated. Nigerians got PVC. You remember we were preaching, go and collect your PVC. Oh, election result is going to be transmitted from through the IRA from the polling booth to the ward, to the local government, to the headquarters of the states before the final announcement. Unfortunately, they saw that it worked so well in the National Assembly elections, and if it continued in this nature, the trajectories and the hidden agenda they have towards Nigerians will not work. They decided to switch off the IREF and told the world that there was a glitch. It is not this their manipulation of religion and ethnicity is actually wearing off to some extent. If only technology, if only we can, man it up with technology as they promised us in 2023. That's why I'm saying now that we have to have electoral reform, so that if we are going to go by manual in 2027, we know, it's just going to be manual. If we are going to go electronically, we know that, we are going to go electronically, and technology is going to take over our electoral system. It's not a situation that it was when we got to court. The court now started telling Nigerians that it is only INEC that had the prerogative on how electoral results are going to be collated. INEC can decide to collate manual, or they can decide to collate it electronically. It was the court that started interpreting all that to us. We don't want such thing in 2027 general election.
So guys, report says that the people who were kidnapped in Kogi State have been released. They are looking so malnourished, and I don't even know how to describe the kind of Nigeria we all live today in, honestly. The person who tweeted this says, "My heart is bleeding. 3 have already died, 13 still in captivity. These are kidnapped victims released today in Kogi State." The APC and Bola Tinubu would rather spend millions lobbying the United States than that there is no insecurity, than using it to secure Nigerians. And this makes a lot of sense. Some people died in captivity. Hey, God. They really need to reveal the Quran to know if the Quran actually tell people to be behaving the way these guys are behaving. Honestly. Really, really so sad. Anyway. Now, let me take you through some of the reactions as regards to these people that have been released. They are really looking so bad. I mean, when you hear bad, they are not looking good at all. Tinubu hiring lobbying firms in the United States for propaganda instead of addressing the real problem. This person has said, "This is so scary. APC is a party built on destruction, lies, corruption, embezzlement, taxing poverty, empowering poverty without offering any good thing, to the citizens. A blind man can't lead us. No way. That's our current president." This is even a Yoruba account. This person is saying, enough is enough. This one says, "This is truly pathetic picture of hate and greed. What did these ordinary citizens do to deserve captivity in their own land?" Hey, my dear, it is not even time to be asking that question, because it can be anybody. I mean, it can be anybody. Hey, Nigerians, it can be anybody. I don't know what is happening in this country. It can be anybody. Bola Tinubu is a known drug baron. Reign or mockery. Chatham House of London, 2023. Tinubu Shetima, APC, Muslim terrorist presidency, adding more to their genocidal regime charges with bribery and money laundering. And this is a Yoruba account there. Everybody now is going after Tinubu. I'm just pitying Tinubu, because rigging might not even save him this time. Rigging won't save him. People are angry. I mean, this person say it will never be well with Tinubu and all the APC government. Their families will experience far worse than what these people are going through, and anybody that is supporting this rotten government, your own and your family turn is around the corner. And this person more, these are like skeleton now. Kidnappers will know no peace. Hey, I'm just wondering what is wrong with these kidnappers. Little children held for this. People are just looking at their physical appearance. You even forgot that these people can be messing up with these little girls in captivity. Can you imagine how long they were kidnapped? It's like they were even forgotten. Someone like Wizarab, we have the guts to tweet about Nigeria palm oil to people like this. Pathetic. This is devastating. 3 lives gone. 13 families still living in nightmare. And this is what passed for normal now. Death announced like statistics. Grief swallowed because it happened too often. What breaks the heart even more is knowing that while Nigerians are counting bodies and praying for captives, their government is counting millions of dollars to convince foreigners that there is no insecurity. Imagine that cruelty. Imagine that, honestly. A nation where safety has become a press statement, where blood is cheaper than lobbying contracts, where victims are released late, if at all, while leaders rush to protect their image abroad. You don't lobby insecurity away. You don't spin kidnapping into safety. You don't lie to the world while your people bury their dead. Every dollar spent denies their horror is a slap in the face of families who will never see their loved ones again. Every published narrative is built on unpolished graves. So guys, people supporting Tinubu, Nigeria is hurting, Nigerians are tired, and their tears are real. No amount of foreign PR can wash them away. Secretary of War Ted Cruz, this is the fate of Christians in Nigeria as at today. We are finished, honestly. We are finished. I don't hate Nigeria because it fails to favor Ndebo, as some people assume. I hate it because the country isn't working for anybody. Yet we keep pretending that it is. It no go better. It no go ever better for APC and Nigerian government. If no, it no get better. Okay, it no go better for all your generations, even forever. Omo, I just dey cry seeing this. See as dem be, 3 dead, 13 still there, and no arrest. Why are you playing people's lives with politics? And this other person, Nigeria will be hard to fix, and it's so sad that the president Tinubu doesn't care. And there is a government in Kogi and Nigeria at large. God bless you, real Queen B, for all your effort. I remember when David Hundeyin labeled you as an APC mole. But if this is how APC moles behave, I think we need more of APC mole in the country. Oh my God, this person, Nigeria and Tinubu and APC faith government have lost empathy of any kind. Human life mean nothing to them as long as it favors blah blah blah. So guys, it is very obvious that these people don't care. I mean, they don't care about Nigerians, you know. They don't care about what people are going through. It's all about them and their own selfish interests. I mean, when you hear selfish interest in this country, it's really so pathetic that this government is doing all this and nobody is talking. They will come out to tell you that APC is doing well. That is why many people are jumping, many governors are moving from the other parties and heading to the APC. But look at it. It's good that these people now, from Kogi, possibly they are speaking Yoruba. Let them see that Tinubu is a colossal failure. Look at since New Year, Tinubu disappeared. He's not in Nigeria. Tell me, they will tell you he's on vacation. What has he worked that he's looking for vacation for? Only God knows. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell notification for more updates. Thank you.